Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello.
now I can hear you.
Oh my goodness, I don't know the reason. Same problem yesterday. Okay, so I was recording, so we'll do a big recap. Uh, Give me 1 minute. How are you keeping? You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. What about you?
I'm fine, thank you. How's weather?
Weather is sunny weather.
We had a rain yesterday and again back to
Hmm.
cold. It's from
It's
28 to
always
12.
rain.
28 to 12 now.
Okay.
So one day was 28. Few days it stayed 2, 3 days, 25, 24, 28. And now back to as usual. Okay, so today lesson will go through LO4, learning outcome 4. We had a discussion and we'll go through assignment discussion in next lesson. So we'll
Okay.
rearrange because this lesson was planned for the assignment discussion. So today is LO4 is about the reflect on the application of the research methodologies and process. So that's the key, and we'll go through the reflections and we'll go through the reflection cycle. And as we discussed in the previous lesson, the themes was given, and within that themes, we can pick the topic of the research project, that testing the business continues at the crisis management, integrated response recovery, example of disaster, developing business recovery, business resilience. We have a talent management, and we can relook, in our assignment discussion, we can choose any topic of the choice within that theme. So key terminology, reflective practice. Reflective practice is the ability to reflect on one action. So they take the critical stance or the attitude towards own practices, and one peer engaging the process of continuous adaptation and the learning. We'll go through the gift cycle. Gift cycle reflective is very important. It has, these major point description always describe about the events or what you've done in the past, feeling what you was feeling during the project. So description, what was the project, the nature of the project, what your feeling were, evaluation, what went well, what not went well. You do the analysis, why not went well, why it went well. Yes, so and then you can draw a conclusion. Overall, it was okay. You achieved the required result within the time frame, within the cost, within the quality, or not. And then you make the action plan for the future. If you do same project again, how you can improve the performance. So then we have a video which I gave the time before, but you can watch, in your time when you click that. So description, feeling, evaluation, analysis, conclusion, and action. Okay, so we're discussing about difference between the reflecting on the performance and evaluating the research project, including research process, quality, and we can look around the argument. So there are two types of reflection, can be reflection on action, reflection in action. So the difference between which is given by the author was the second reflective model. We have a Gibbs reflective model. We have a Kolb experiential learning, which is also reflection, experiential learning, and we'll go through the reflections. So reflection, and always before sleeping, think about how your day went. What have you achieved? What we not have we achieved? Where we waste the time, and we'll carry on reflecting. We'll carry on improving. Reflecting on performance, focus on the personal growth and the learning. Often involve the self-assessment and reflection on the individual performance. But when we look the project, focus on assessing the quality and effectiveness of research project. Typically involve the external assessment, evaluation of the peer or the expert. Expert people can give the views about the project and emphasize the process of the learning and improvement. Emphasis on the outcome and the result of the research project involve identifying the strengths, weaknesses, area of improvement of the project, involve assessing the overall quality of the research argument and the use of evidence, and many involve setting the goals for the future performance and development, and may involve the making the recommendation for the future research improvement. So these are all we can look around in our project. Please, if any question, you can carry on asking. Uh,
Okay.
we, we can look around the table, summarize the merits and limitation and the potential pitfalls are the shortfalls we can look. So if you're using surveys, interviews, or observation, experiment, or the case study, can collect the data from the large samples, limitation, self-reported data, and may suffer, from the response can be biased in some time. Potential pitfall or the shortfall can be the subject to the sampling bias are non-responsive bias are not captured, the complexity of the nuisance or the attitudes which we can be. That can be the data, it's or the conclusion it can be. It's maybe not a true reflection. Interview can collect detailed and data which we can and we can clarify probe response, and can capture the contextualized information and can be time consuming sometime. It's the interview. It can be your social responsibility biased, can be maybe you're looking or ignoring the responsibility, the caring about the respondent's viewpoint and may not be captured, the internal state of motivation. Maybe you wasn't just for the sake of, or may suffer from the lack of objectivity or the bias. Observations, time observation data is good. You can capture naturally occurring the behaviors and interaction that can provide, contextualized information can be used studying the complex system, which we can look around can be the time consuming sometime or may suffer, the lack of objectivity. Objectivity mean it should be unbiased data. It's our research should be the reflect, true facts and figures. Okay, experiment. What we do, we carry on doing experiment testing, what is happening in actual market and allow the casual inference and can be controlled, for the extra. Yes, variables can be used, the test the theoretical models. Yes, we can look around. Sometimes it can be time consuming, expensive, and suffer from the demand, characteristic experiment. We need to be make sure we'll may or may not capture the complexity in that case. We can carry on looking the case studies can be detailed, which we can information and can be used, studying range or the unique, the cases. Limited maybe general liability or generalization really we need to be make sure. Maybe the case can be outdated sometime. We're looking the previous company or the same company cases, which we for the sake of research. Content analysis can analyze the large amount of the data and can be capture the comments and the meaning of the communication and use the studying the media or the text. Limitation of the surface or the level of information may suffer, more subjectivity instead of objectivities or may not be captured the complexity of when in which location or who are the influence on that data. Okay, we can look around critically objective and the self-reflection to inform the personal growth among the research journey and critically objective self-reflection in an important aspect of the personal development along with the research journey. It's involved, reflecting no one own thought feeling behaviors in the thoughtful and deliberately based, which we can look around. Okay, here is the some key steps, critically and objective self-reflection. Set aside the time and the reflection and schedule regular time of the reflection. Identify your strength and the weaknesses or area of development of the researcher, and then you can carry on improving. And seek the feedback. Feedback is also known as a feed forward. So mentors and other experts and open constructive constructive criticism always good, oh no, you're not in good because if you do this in that can be good. So we can take on board, constructive criticism always good. Identify the area of improvement. Identify the area of improvement in your research method, in analytical skills, and the personal development. Create a plan of improvement. Plan is where you are, where you want to go. Plan is a set knife that provide the future directions, and you can develop the strategies and timeline to achieve, these. Mentor your progress and regular monitor your progress towards the goal and adjust your plan accordingly by engaging the critical and objective self-reflection. Researcher, maybe I never use the Power BI. I have not used SPSS a lot. So I carry on improving. Why? Because these are very important tools and we need to learn about for doing, as a good researcher. Reflection in action and reflection in action, two different forms. When we say reflection in action, involve reflecting on ongoing experience while it's occurring. In action, because you are in at the moment you're doing and carry on reflecting. In order to identify and adjust strategies in the real time, this form of reflection can be particularly helpful situation where there is a need, there is a weather and we think, come on, we plan the material to use in the project. So you carry on in action when you're doing it, you can reflect and quickly you can adjust it as per changing the circumstances. Example of the researcher conducting interview might notice there are the participant is becoming uncomfortable with the particular question. Adjust the approach accordingly. Maybe we can rephrase the question and we can ask, the question. Second research is called research reflection and action. Reflection and action, on other hand, involve the reflecting on the past experience in order to identify the lesson need learned plan. For suppose if we not achieve and the project not finish on time, so lesson need to be learned next project. We say finish on time. Help the situation where the time is step back and analyze the situation more in depth. For example, researcher might reflect on the data collection process after the completing is study, and we can look around in order to identify the area of improvement in future research. That's so in action, you do the research when you're doing it, and on action, you do the past when you finish it. By both form of reflective practice can helpful the supporting the personal and the professional development, improve the quality and impact of the research. By engaging the reflective practice, the researcher can gain the deeper understanding of their strength and the weaknesses are we call area of development. Social and culturally context in which there are the research take place. Always we need to be good look around the growth mindset and the fixed mindset. We shouldn't be fixed mindset. We should have a growth mindset. Growth. No, I don't need to learn. What's the point? I can do it. Yes. But the growth mindset, we say, come on, everywhere we go, we'll carry on getting the new thing and that will help in really life. That's the growth mindset. Yep, either 80 or 20, if you stop learning, you become. Otherwise, you're not. So that's one of the great scholars said we carry on looking and impact on this, on the research outcomes. Okay, then we can look around self-reflections. When you do the self-reflections, inform and develop the future behavior. Self-reflection is important for forming and developing the future our project. Yes, that is quite crucial, which we carry on doing. So we can look around the context of the research, reflecting the past experience, evaluating the strength, and the researcher can identify here the steps, self-reflection to inform and develop, the future behaviors and consideration, and uh, review the past experience, the time to reflect the past experience in research, building both success and the challenges. Okay, we can evaluate the personal strength and the weaknesses. Maybe we never use SPSS or any other that can be not weaknesses. Normally, it's good to use word area of development. Identify the area of improvement, research method, analytical skill, or personal development plan. Improve. Create a plan of improvement that involve the goals, strategies, timeline, and achieving objectives. Seek the feedback. Feedback is a feed forward. That's which will carry on looking monitor the progress regular, monitor the progress towards the goal, adjust the plan, and by using reflection and the behaviors and consideration and the action, and the researcher can continues improve their skill and the knowledge and enhance the quality, which we can look around. This can be leads to the more effective decision making mean the selecting the best course of action which we can impact on the research outcome and the deeper understanding on the social and cultural context in the research, and that's which we can look around. Any question? Okay, so today lesson really we look around the research and we look around the reflection in action, reflection on action, and we went through the Gibbs model of reflection and how we can interpret the data and use the data in the project. Yeah, that's final. And the next lesson we'll go through assignment discussion and we'll recap what really we learn in all four learning outcome and we will embed in our topic whatever we'll do for the research. Huh? the next week we go through the assignment discussion and I will try to send you a few research project sample assignment of the previous. Only the topic can be this period or the previous period, that also help us how we can structure
Okay.
it. Okay, so that's all from my end. If you have a question, please you can ask.
The next session we will have next week.
Yes, I will try to arrange, can we arrange next